Welcome back, Patriots, to the Ball Brad Show. It is Friday, May 10th, and Joe Biden. Good old Joey, the geriatric, the puppet, the child sniffer. This is my favorite part. Everything I'm about to say is true. He hits a golf ball backwards, falls up a flight of stairs so many times that he has to take the short staircase to get on Air Force One. Before he was president, I never even knew there was a short staircase to get on Air Force One. This guy is looking for dead people in the crowd. He's conversing with people that have been dead for over 40 years. And folks, it's not like he's just listening to them. He's seeing them as well. This guy takes photos with people at events that were never there in the first place. And you might be thinking, Brad, how the hell does that happen? I'm still trying to figure it out myself. This guy falls on his bicycle. He falls off his bicycle standing stationary. How many of you have ever seen that happen or has happened to you? I sure in hell haven't. Until this guy's become president. He sits there and fights with his teleprompter every single day. And the teleprompter is undefeated. It's the most insane statistic in all of politics, folks. And here he is again just the other day, duking it out with the teleprompter. And the teleprompter is still the reigning champion. It's the heavyweight champion of the world. Here we go.
My theology professor at the Catholic school I went to was a guy named Riley, last name. And he had been drafted by the Green.
Yes, you heard that correctly. His last name's Riley. Last name. So it's kind of like when he says the word pause. Joe, that's not a part you read there, buddy. I know it's your first time ever using a teleprompter and thinking maybe somewhat coherently the fact that you can actually get a word out of your mouth. But no, it is his last name, but that wasn't the part that you were supposed to read, Joe. And he goes on to say that his theology teacher got drafted by the Green Bay Packers. Never happened. This guy just lies through his teeth left and right. And we covered that where he talked about this, right? And then we showed this interview with CNN the other day. And it comes out that in that interview, he was lying basically every minute. It was a 17-minute interview. This dude lied 15 times. That's all he does is lie. And Democrats want 4 more years with Joey. The guy's truthful, Joey. This guy's awesome. He's gonna fix everything. No, he's not. He lies every day. So we're not gonna break down every single one. But lie number one was, I've created over 15 million jobs since I've been president. No, you haven't. People just went back to work. You created nothing. Absolutely nothing, Joe. Lie number two, other than Herbert Hoover, Donald Trump is the only president who has lost more jobs than he created. It's just an absolute fabrication, complete lie. Trump didn't lose jobs. He was president during a global pandemic. The government was shut down. They shut down everything. Lie number three, look at what he says he's going to do if he gets elected. Says he's going to do away with what I've done on Medicare, reducing the price of Medicare. There is no truth to this. You can't find it out there. He pulled it out of his diaper, you guys. As Trump has said, he will never do anything that will hurt or jeopardize Social Security or Medicare. But Karine Jean-Pierre, the mouthpiece of this liar, go figure, lies herself and keeps pushing this BS upon all of us that, well, Republicans are going after your Social Security, Medicare, and you're not going to get paid when you're retired. Shut up. We can all read between your lines. We know you're lying. Lie number four, you know we have 1,000 billionaires in America. Know that their average federal tax, 8.3%. Wrong again, Joey. Factcheck.org notes that the top 0.1% of earners with more than 4.4 million in expanded cash income pay an average rate of 25.1%, but they're consistently going to lie to you guys. And Democrats lop this up, folks. They love it. They love smelling Joey's dirty diaper. Lie number five, we've already turned it around on the economy. I mean, do I even need to go into the details on that one? The polling data has been wrong all along. No, it hasn't. How many questions have we seen in the White House press briefing where the reporters are like, hey, Karine, like, how can you get your messaging across to the American people to make them feel as if the economy is strong, as if they're feeling good about their finances? And she can't answer it. Why? Because the polling shows that everybody hates Joe Biden. Lie number seven, there's corporate greed going on out there, and it's got to be dealt with. Folks, labor costs increased 4.2%. Between 2023 and 2024, they increased 5.1% from 2021 to 2022. The cost of everything from like the supplies to the shipping to the rent to taxes have gone up. And this dude just sits there and spews a bunch of nonsense. Line number 8, inflation was 9% when I came in office. We actually covered that one yesterday. We called that out in real time. It was 1.4 when he came into office. It reached 9.1%. So he's going to sit there and absolutely lie straight to your guys' faces. And we called it out again in real time. Line number 9, they have the money to spend. It angers them and angers me that they have to spend more. They have the money to spend according to Bankrate. 76% of adults making less than $50,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck, an increase from 71% from the year before. So that's a 5% increase, Joe. People are dipping into their savings. Again, we called this in real time because he's a liar. And that's all he's ever done. This is a guy, we'll come back to this. I sat there and I worked on an 18-wheeler. No, you didn't. I was an activist for black people. No, you weren't. I taught it in law school. No, you didn't. That's all he freaking does is lie. Line number 10. We're like 10 minutes into the interview, I guess now. Civilians have been killed in Gaza as a consequence of those bombs and other ways in which they go after population centers. No, it's wrong to suggest that Israel is deliberately targeting population centers. Hamas actually embeds themselves among the civilian population, creating bases inside hospitals, which we've seen on camera, and digging tunnels under residential apartments. Line number 11, we're not walking away from Israel's security. We're walking away from Israel's ability to wage war in those areas. This guy's an idiot. He really is an idiot. And he got elected somehow with 81 plus million votes. I know they weren't legit. I'm very in tune with that just as much as all of you are, but they're going to sit there and pull the same shenanigans again, folks. But defeating Hamas is integral to Israel's security. How does Biden suggest Israel win the war if it leaves the last stronghold of the terrorist group untouched, like miles away from Israeli border? Unbelievable. Line number 12. It made no sense in my view to engage in thinking in Iraq they have a nuclear weapon. Biden brought this up, saying that he warned Israel President Netanyahu not to make the mistakes we made in Afghanistan and Iraq, except Biden voted in favor of invading Iraq. But he doesn't remember that. This is a guy that doesn't even remember when his son died. He doesn't know anything. Literally, I mean, he knows that his favorite ice cream is chocolate chip, but other than that, the guy doesn't have a damn clue. Line number 13. You can't only love your country when you win. Someone better tell all the celebrities and elites in the Democrat Party who claim they're going to move if Trump is reelected, or say they don't know their country anymore, or who burn American flags as they rally for Hamas. Biden's chiding of Trump with this line would carry more weight if he said it to his own voters. Correctamundo, sir. Line number 14. I travel around the world. Other world leaders know what they all say, 80% of them. You got to win. My democracy is at stake. Maybe we can't say this is absolutely a lie, but it sure sounds like one. Oh, yeah. It's at stake if Joe gets reelected. That's for damn sure. We're going down the pooper like Joe's diaper. Line number 15. Then Trump is going to put in a 10% tax. That's going to increase average American costs $1,500 a year. Folks, Trump is literally opposed to such a tax. Perhaps Biden means Trump's plan for a 10% tariff on imported goods, which may or may not cost Americans more money. You know who else is considering imposing tariffs? Joe Biden is imposing tariffs. Just this week, Biden looks to surge on Chinese imports, but 17 minutes, and the guy's like, how many lies can I sit there and tell you in 17 minutes? A lie a minute, basically. He's almost beating Karine Jean-Pierre's record. It's truly a remarkable thing. It's like they're competing with one another. Let me know what you think about that one in the comment section below. If you're having a good time, folks, hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a comment down below on how terrible Joe Biden is, and don't go anywhere because we're not done yet. Oh, we got updates on illegal immigration, folks. I just need to wet my whistle real quick. All right. So you got to be goofy every now and then. This next one up here, folks. Biden faces dueling calls for Democrats over amnesty for illegal immigrants. So not only is this something that Joe Biden's proposing himself, but now he's getting it from his own party. I told you this is always the long game plan. I've been, like since the inception of the show, I've been saying this. This is what they want to do. Allow millions of people to pour across the border and then give them amnesty. What I previously said was, and I think this is still going to happen, is this is going to be part of the negotiation to get the border wall. I think what's going to be said His Democrats say, perfect, we'll fund the entire border wall, build the entire 1,000+ miles of border wall you need, as long as you give these 25, 30 million illegal immigrants in this country present time amnesty. You got a deal. I think Republicans are going to take it. I really do, you guys. Well, President Joe Biden is facing dueling calls from Democrat lawmakers over whether he should take action to secure the southern border, or push for amnesty for illegal immigrants. How about you sit there and stop the surge first, like stop the bleeding, and then have conversations about that other shenanigans like amnesty here, which I'm not for, but I think it's going to be on the table for negotiations. Check this out. Deporting all such illegals, meaning individuals, as former President Donald Trump has threatened to do if reelected. And we covered that last week, I believe it was, where Donald Trump wants to deport 20+ million illegal immigrants. And I broke down his plan in 3 bullet points. Check our video catalog. I think it came out on Saturday or Sunday. Well, they're saying this would devastate the American economy and destroy American families. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Not at all. It's just one of those lies again. Like, it's almost as if Joey wrote this. It's almost as if Joey came up with this, but it wasn't Joey. It was Democrats' claim. So it might as well have been, I guess. So they're streamlining pathways for undocumented immigrants with no criminal history and deep ties to the United States to obtain parole or a lawful immigration status would provide stability to their families, require them to pay taxes, and to check in with the U.S. government regularly. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it turns out some of these people are just refusing to leave. It's crazy. Folks, these people come here and break the law, and then they have the balls to make demands. So a group of illegal immigrants in Denver are refusing to relocate from a tent encampment to shelters unless Democratic Mayor Mike Johnson agrees to their list of 13 demands. The balls on these people is insane. They are currently living in tents under a bridge and near train tracks as the Denver Human Services Department attempts to get them into a city-funded migrant shelters. The illegal immigrants, however, want the city to agree to numerous provisions for migrants staying in shelters, including allowing them to cook their own meals, culturally appropriate ingredients provided by the city, which means provided by all of you guys. I can't believe this shit. And giving them free consultations with an immigration lawyer. Free. You know who pays that? An immigration lawyer is not just going to go pro bono on this stuff. No, no, no. They know that that's going to be billed to the city, which the city bills who? All of you. The city will provide ongoing legal support in the form of immigration document clinics and including transportation to relevant court dates. Meaning, oh, we'll just drive you there. Don't worry about it. I told you, some of these people commit crimes, you guys, and you're paying for it. You're paying for their food, their transportation, their education. Hell, you're paying sometimes, in some cases, their shelter. Chicago's paying them $84,000 a year, which is more than the average American actually makes. But this is what they want to do, you guys. We saw in New York City where they were giving them plasma TVs, Xboxes, couches, coffee tables, full phone services, a revolving menu that's catered to their culture, that they get 3 meals a day. They get recreational services. They get laundry services. They get tenting, clothing, bedding. Folks, they get it all. It almost seems like I'm making this up. We actually covered it here. We showed the video on the show, and we got flagged for it. The city will provide ongoing legal support. I bet you damn will. I bet you will. At the expense of taxpayers. We've been offering time and shelter, basically just trying to get families to leave that camp and come inside, which comes with 3 square meals a day. You could cook your own if you'd like to. Come on in. It's fully funded, folks. I guarantee you they're going to meet their demands. I guarantee you. So you might be asking, well, Brad, what are their demands? Well, here we go. Migrants will cook their own food. It has to be culturally appropriate, and you're going to pay for it. Shower access will be available without time limits, so they could just sit there and rack up the water bill, which you pay for. Medical professional visits, which you pay for. All will receive the same housing support that has been offered to others. They cannot kick people out in 30 days without something stable established. You're paying for that stable establishment, and sometimes you're covering their rental assistance. Just lovely. There needs to be a clear, just process before exiting someone for any reason, including verbal, written, and final warnings. Who's going to draft that up? You are, by paying probably a lawyer to write that up. All shelter residents will receive connection to employment support, including work permit applications for those who qualify so that they can get jobs over Americans. Isn't that just lovely? Consultations for each person, family, free with immigration lawyer, free in air quotes, must be arranged to discuss progress of their cases, and the city will provide an ongoing legal support, which you're paying for. The city will provide privacy for families/individuals within the shelter. Don't know what that means. No more verbal or physical or mental abuse will be permitted with the staff, including no sheriff sleeping inside and monitoring 24/7. We are not criminals and won't be treated as such. By definition, you are a criminal. I mean, you broke the law to get into this country. So by definition, you are a criminal. You may not want to call yourself that because you don't like it, but you are in fact a criminal. Transportation for all children to and from their schools. So not only are you funding their education, they want you to pay for now the transportation to get to the education. Notice it's all you paying for this. No separating families, regardless of if family members have children or not. The camp will stay together because they're tribal. Why does the camp have to stay together? It's astonishing. The city must schedule a meeting with the mayor and those directly involving in running the newcomer. They're newcomer programs, folks. They're newcomer. That's a new acronym. That's a new language being used now. ASAP to discuss further improvements and ways to support immigrants. Notice that. So once you meet our 13 demands, don't worry, we're going to have more later by discussing further improvements and ways to support us, which is just asking for more taxpayer dollars. We need food. We need this type of clothing. We need cultural appropriate clothing. We want to make sure we have the nicest shelters out there. We need air conditioning. We need our feet iced and massaged. It's insane. The city must provide all residents with a document signed by a city official in English and Spanish with all these demands that include a number to call to report mistreatment. Who's going to pay for the call center? You are. That is correct. All of these, you are just shelling out your hard-earned money. All the while, you're struggling to pay for groceries. You're struggling to pay your own damn bills like utilities, rent, whatever it may be. A lot of you are in the comment section just yesterday complaining how your mortgage rates went up or how your rent went up. Some of you just signed a new lease. I get it, you guys. I'm not hounding you. I'm on your side. How about we help Americans rather than meeting the demands of people that shouldn't be here in the first place? But don't worry, you guys. You just saw it. Biden says that, the economy's better. Everybody's doing fine. This is going to make things better for everybody. And it's not just Biden. It's all the Democrats. They're idiots. Well, I told you I'd keep you up to date on this voter stuff. Voter fraud, election integrity. And I'm making the connection here to illegal immigration because we have the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility. It's called the SAVE Act. Would also require states to create programs to remove non-citizens from existing voter rolls. Whoa. Hey, time out. I was told by Democrats, all of them, that illegal immigrants weren't voting. Weird how what do you mean you have to remove people that are non-citizens from voter rolls? Why would they be there in the first place? Interesting. Provide states zero-cost access to the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, and Social Security Administration databases in order to do so. So Speaker Mike Johnson has been going around the country talking about illegal aliens voting, but we're told that's not happening because the Democrat Party has to lie because if people feel like they need a handout from the Democrat Party, and because they're getting the handout from the Democrat Party because the Democrat Party's meeting the demands, now they're going to vote Democrat. Like, I forgot the statistic. The vast majority of illegal immigrants, when they get their citizenship, because that's what's handed to them through these court dates, they tend to actually just vote Democrat. So in the last 5.5 months, he's been going around to 101 cities, more than half the states, talking to them about the fact that Americans are deeply concerned about this. And it doesn't matter where you live or where you are in a blue state or red state. Everyone is concerned about the fact that people are voting when they should not be in the first place. In at least 16 states, illegal aliens. Yes, folks, I'm zooming in for you. I got to zoom out for you. In at least 16 states, illegal aliens are eligible for a driver's license, while other states have been providing thousands of non-citizens voter registration forms. Oh, really? Really? These 16 states, they so happen to be Democrat? I think so. And it provides ample opportunities to illegally register to vote in federal elections. It comes from a fact sheet in the bill. Oh, interesting. Again, I'm repeating myself. I was told this wasn't happening. What do you mean in 16 states that they're giving illegal aliens the right to vote? The proposed legislation will also allow citizens to bring civil lawsuits, thank God, against election officials that fail to uphold proof of citizenship. Meaning now it puts it on these election officials to sit there and not circumvent the law and lie to the American public. And now you could sit there and file a civil lawsuit. I love that aspect because now you're holding the people accountable that are on site for allowing this crap to happen. So I hope this gets pushed through. It's going to allow for safer and freer elections to take place. So just the connection there. I hope you see all what I did there with the illegal immigration. You're going to pay for it, but now they're voting for the Democrat Party. You see what I did there. You got it. Well, here's the last little bit today. We always keep Friday episodes short, folks. Trump slams Biden for threatening to withhold military aid to Israel, taking the side of these terrorists. It's not Trump taking the sides of the terrorists. It's Joe Biden. I've said this time and time again. I think that this guy should be impeached, meaning Joe Biden. Not just for what he's doing at the southern border, but I think that he is committing treason. We did an episode on it, and I think my claim and my evidence for him supporting terrorists and allowing terrorists to flow across the border, I think I did a great job of supporting the fact that he was being treasonous. In the same way DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says. They're funding terrorism. I swear there's Democrats in here right now. Democrats, Joe Biden is giving the Taliban $40 million every 2 weeks. Explain that one to me. Yes, you're correct. The people that we fought for 2 decades plus, yes, where American soldiers were killed, yes. Joe Biden sat there and gave the Taliban billions of dollars of military-grade equipment. Explain that one to me. He's given Iran $10 billion of humanitarian aid, which is fungible, which allows them to shore up and free up money to give to terrorism. Explain that one to me. Why is there a constant theme now of him sitting there and helping terrorists around the world to the point where now he's not even giving munitions to Israel because he was pissed with the fact that they're going into Rafah to protect their citizens and run roughshod over this terrorist organization that basically committed their 9/11 on the Israelis? It's frustrating as hell. It's treason. Joe Biden's committing treason. On Wednesday, former President Donald Trump blasted President Biden after Biden accused Israel of attacking population centers. Remember, that was from the CNN interview, which we covered in our first segment, that the dude's lying through his teeth and threatened to withhold military aid to the Jewish state if Israel attacked Rafah, the last stronghold of the terrorist group Hamas. Biden told CNN's Aaron Burnett, in reference to 2,000-pound bombs the U.S. has supplied to Israel, quote, civilians have been killed in Gaza as a consequence of those bombs and other ways in which they go after population centers. And takes exhaustive steps to warn citizens that they need to leave specific areas before they conduct military operations. They fly in leaflets. They go over like the freaking the megaphones, like, we're coming in, we're gonna drop the bombs, get out. If you decide to stay there, probably something wrong with you. Okay. If you know that there's a terrorist living in your apartment building, should you stay there knowing that Israel is probably going to drop a 2,000-pound bomb on you? Probably should get out. If a terrorist lived in my complex, you think I would stay here? One, I'd report his ass really quick. And two, no, I would not stay here. No, not at all. So good on Donald Trump for standing up for our allies, of which the Democrat Party is not going to do. You know who the Democrat Party stands up for? Ukraine. You know Ukraine stole $40 million. We have no idea where it went. Just it's amazing how we're just sending money everywhere. No clue how it's being spent, how it's being utilized. Don't know where it went, but don't worry about it. Hey, there's $65 billion to Ukraine. Do what you want with it. We don't care. Oh, here's $10 billion to Iran. Oh, you want to wipe us off the face of the earth? Not a big deal. Go ahead and spend that money on however you please. Folks, this administration is against America. This administration is against the American citizen. They're for everybody else. You've seen the fall of many republics throughout history doing exactly what Joe Biden is doing, allowing an invasion happening into the interior of your country, allowing people to come into your country that aren't going to assimilate to your creed or your values or your constitution, however you want to phrase it. And this is going to be how you cripple this country from the inside out. You change the value system. You change the assimilation that's been taking place for decades. And now you just carved out an entire country. And this is going to be the collapse of this great nation of ours. And you can blame Democrats for that in the same way that they're sitting there not supporting our allies. They're allowing people to run roughshod over this entire globe, like Russia going to Ukraine, China wanting to go invade to Taiwan, Iran running basically Israel as well as us, left and right across, hell, the world. I mean, look at the terrorist attacks that are taking place. You saw one in Russia. You saw one freaking all over the Middle East. They're going after our merchant vessels. They killed our military personnel in Iraq. I mean, it's happening. It's going to happen here in the United States because Joe Biden's allowing 10 million people plus to pour across the border, which we know there's sex traffickers. We know that there's child sex offenders. We know the fact that there's murderers. We know there's violent gang members. We know there's drug traffickers. We know there's cartel. And we know that there's terrorists in this country. How do I know that? Well, shit, the FBI Director Christopher Wray has said so to Congress. DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas has not just told Congress, but he's also told Fox News. I mean, it's so out there in the open to the point where Russia, China, Iran, the Houthis, Hamas, the Taliban, you name it, are all saying, yeah, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and use the southern border as a gateway to get into the United States so we could commit at some point a terrorist attack upon American citizens. And mind you, they don't care if you're Democrat. They don't care if you're Republican. But for some reason, us as Republican and conservatives, we understand this. The Democrats, for some ungodly reason, I don't know what it is, you guys. I don't know if there's like some sort of like mechanism that's blocking their brain, but they're all for this, you guys. Absolutely love it. They're going to vote for Joey again. They're idiots. Vote Trump. 2024, baby. He's the last hope for America because we can't take 4 more years. We can't. There's a lot of patriots in this live chat. There's a lot of patriots that watch this show. We can't do it anymore. We can't take 4 more years of this hit. We need Donald Trump. Folks, if you have a friend or family member that's not able to make it to the polls, call the Bald Brad Army, folks, because we'll carry their asses to the polls. We'll help them out. But take care of one another, folks. Hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a comment down below. It does support the channel greatly. Please try not to move away from like the show. What I mean by that is if you could watch all the way through, it supports the analytics and pushing our video out there to new viewers. We are being shadow banned by YouTube, so we're trying to circumvent the system in any way we can by you just watching it. If you don't want to hear what I have to say, put that bad boy on mute, and it is supporting the channel greatly. If you want to go above and beyond, we got a membership. Just hit that join tab. It's either over here or over here. You do need to have a sign in. Subscribing is free. I just want to clarify that. You hitting the subscribe button, it's not going to charge you money. You don't have to put in a credit card or anything. Only if you want to sit there and give thanks. You know, you can do whatever you want, folks. A lot of people don't know this stuff exists. And lastly, we do have a website, baldbrad.com. You get merchandise there, hoodies, coffee mugs, which you always see me drink out of every morning. And we also have a book, Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. It is real, folks. I always call this out. There is words in it. Well, that's actually the notation, but there are words in it. This one's the chapter. What chapter is this? Critical Race Theory, The Monster in Our Schools, Chapter 9. So it is real, folks. A lot of people are saying they're enjoying it. If you guys bought it, can you leave me an Amazon review? Head over to Amazon, give it a 5-star. Would appreciate it. And that's it for my plugs. Again, we're not beholden by a corporation. We don't get funding from anybody other than grassroots patriots ourselves, folks. And with that being said, I'll see you later here on The Bald Brad Show.